Hello, my gorgeous souls. Happy to have you here at the channel. Before we get started, I just want to say a quick hello to any new subscribers. My numbers continue to climb. I'm so excited. I'm getting some really good feedback from viewers, and I just want everybody to know that it means so much to me. It lights me up, literally helps me feel so encouraged to do this. So I appreciate you so much. If you are new, and even if you've been here a while and you continue to come back and share space with me, I am so honored again. And I'm always so thankful for everyone that chooses to come and connect and share space. So happy to have you. Be sure to share me, like, subscribe, click the notification bell. Also know that anything that you would need to know regarding the channel, how to support the channel, there's been comments about that. How you can, provide a gift or donate or any of those things. All of that information is going to be in the description box below. As well, I include the full deck titles that I use, and if those decks are available on Amazon, I do provide affiliate links so that you have an easy way to purchase those. I do provide personal readings. There's information in the description box related to that as well. So again, there's a plethora of info of different details related to me and what I'm doing and what you can experience on this channel. So just click in that description box and see everything that's there, because chances are whatever it is that you're wondering about, I've been very thorough. It should be in that description box for you. So today, everyone, this is a really exciting reading. It is March 3rd, so it's 3-3, and threes, of course, in numerology and in tarot are all about creation and abundance and prosperity and beautiful Empress energy. Think of that. Just really beautiful, just abundant vibes, I guess, would be the way to put it. And, I wanted to definitely do, as part of my channel sort of design, I wanted to do portal activations each month on, their numerologically significant dates. So March being the third month of the year, the third is very significant for yet another portal activation. And I wanted to center each portal activation surrounding, what the significance of that number is for where we're at, in terms of what's happening in the collective. So what I'm seeing happening a lot is people, obviously, a lot of readers and just individuals in general are very focused on prosperity right now. That could be financial abundance, materially speaking, related to career, anything along those lines. I want to sum all that up into two different sort of boxes, if you will, and have it be abundance and prosperity. And so, again, the idea of creation of this just abundant, beautiful, fortuitous energy of luck, that's representative of this month. I wanted to bring that to you today, and I want to help unlock for you the secrets that you can utilize in order to bring yourself more abundance. So, and I think the camera is shaking quite a bit today. I'm doing a new setup today. So as I continue to get, yeah, it is definitely shaking. As I continue to get set up and to explore, what the best sort of way that I can do this is, give me a moment. Things are going to shake even a little bit more. Okay, that's working out a little bit better, I think. While I figure out my setup, I'm going to have a couple of little kinks like that. Please don't mind it. I'm doing my best. But at any rate, so what we're going to be focusing on today, again, is related to prosperity and abundance, how you can unlock having more of that flow to you with ease. If there's any blockages that you have going on, we're going to explore them today, get messages from Spirit, guidance for you on how you can basically unblock your flow of abundance and prosperity to you. So hopefully you end up enjoying this reading. I decided to do, of course, green vibes all the way around and symbolizing this beautiful month of luck and abundance and just good times that March provides. I love St. Patrick's Day. I love this whole time of the year, spring renewal coming in. So I thought this was just a very great reading to bring to you today, and hopefully you enjoy it. 3 piles for you, of course, as usual. And as usual, towers that are gorgeous and amazing, and yet that I am not entirely sure what they are. We'll take a crack at it though. Pile 1 is going to be the Luminous Spirit Tarot, that beautiful back with the iridescent rainbow effect. Those pastels are gorgeous, showing up for you on camera. I believe this is moss agate. Pretty sure that's a moss agate tower. Pile 2 is the Journey of the Sacred Bee Tarot, an independently created deck. I believe these are both independent. They're all 3 independent. That's right. They're all independent today. Perfect. Okay. So pile 2, the Journey of the Sacred Bee, that's going to be paired with, I want to say, green calcite. And then pile 3, which is one of my newest tarot decks, it is the Flora Tarot, and that is going to be paired with no clue. Quite honestly, I want to say that that looks almost like could be like a form of jade. I do need to learn my crystals a little bit better. I'm still working with that. I have a whole bunch, and yet they're not coming to me so clearly. So just select by the deck titles: the Luminous Spirit Tarot, the Journey of the Sacred Bee, the Flora Tarot. And the Flora Tarot is special because it's actually got the clover right on there. So that's wonderful. Go ahead, reflect over whichever deck is drawing you in most, whichever crystal calls to you most, or check the timestamps as well. I will see you over at your pile in a moment for your reading. Hi, pile 1. You were drawn to, I want to say this is the moss agate tower, excuse me, and the beautiful Luminous Spirit Tarot. We are asking Spirit today to share with us whatever we're needing to know regarding our own personal abundance and prosperity. It is the month of March. It is the 3-3 portal activation. And, you know, in tarot, the number 3 is all about Empress energy. So that's abundance and prosperity and luck, you know, just feeling very good, having everything in alignment. That's your practical affairs, your love life, your relationships, your health, your wellness. Just being in a perfectly abundant state of being is to be in alignment. And we want to get you in alignment as much as possible, assist with that, provide some guidance from Spirit to come through today and help us to help you see what you can be working on or what needs to be unstuck, how you can remove those blockages in order to allow the constant stream and flow of abundance and prosperity to come in for you, which is always at the ready. Source always wants to give you everything that you want. So if it's not coming to you, let's find out why, and let's get those blockages removed so that this can be a wonderful month of luck for you, pile 1. Starting, of course, with the Luminous Spirit Tarot, we'll pull some Oracle. I've got a green theme going today. Lots of good stuff. And we'll be using my newest deck as well, which is the Rose Oracle that I purchased by Rebecca Campbell. Just did a deck review on that and a mini pick a card using that deck. So if you end up enjoying it, or if you're aware already of that release, it just occurred, just came out on the 1st, and you are interested in seeing that deck more up close, go ahead and wander over to that playlist, because that is where I keep all of those. I think it's called the deck introductions and tarot talk throughs. That playlist is where you'll find any of those decks that I discussed doing a deck review of. That's where that is housed. And then you can get a little mini pick a card as well. Super fun. So this is actually my second video of the day. I don't normally do more than one in a day, but why not, right? I'm feeling this energy, these vibes, this really strong portal energy flowing for 3-3. So why not, right? Go ahead and ready yourself for the reading today. Just take a brief moment to take a deep breath in and out. Set the intention that you're ready for whatever messages Spirit wants to convey to you and have come through. Put yourself in that receiving mode. And then also take a moment to select a sign. That can be anything at all, a name, a number, anything of significance to you that when you see it,
you can take a short walk before getting back to your day.
So as much as I try to have Alexa not interrupt me, I even put her on mute. She continues to do that. So I will have to shut her off. But at At any rate, go ahead and select a sign, anything that will be significant to you, so that when Spirit brings that forth for you, you can affirm the messages as true for you. Just provides an additional bit of validation. So let's see here for you, pile 1. Let's start with your tarot. So Spirit, for pile 1, what do you want to tell us about what could be blocking them from their abundance, their prosperity, from things flowing in easily to them? Let's get their current energy first, please. What energy are they currently sitting in overall? So we have the Star. Beautiful. We have the Moon. A lot more space today as well with this setup, so we'll see how many cards we can fit. Queen of Cups. I'm loving this energy so much for you, pile 1. This is incredible already. And Page of Wands. Can we fit one more? I feel like we can. Let's go for it. It's the 8 of Swords. Okay. And clarifying this energy, we have the 10 of Swords. We have the 10 of Cups. So lots of 10s coming in for you, pile 1. These are indicative of cycles closing out. We have the Tower for the Queen of Cups. We have a lot of things shaking up for you in life right now. But a lot of good news, a lot of things closing out for you. Cycles completing. 7 of Swords and Queen of Wands. So that looks beautiful, and I've got lots of really nice space here. Oh, I love it. Okay. I think actually we'll start there. We're going to start here, and then I'll pull Oracle once we actually get into the main part of the reading. So for you, pile 1, I apologize for any wobbliness on the camera. You're in all of this really beautiful intuitive energy. I know this from the Star, first of all, that's leaning into faith and belief with Source. This is optimism and hopefulness and, you know, wanting to live to see a new day and knowing that things are going to be better. So it's just this feeling of, again, this internal sense of resilience. With the 10 of Swords clarifying, it does feel as though there's been a very painful or difficult cycle that you are closing out of, a difficult past perhaps, or a lot of unhealed wounding that you've begun to process through. I'm kind of inclined to think that because we have, again, a lot of really deep emotive energies coming through also with the Moon and the Queen of Cups. Again, very emotional, also very intuitive, very in touch with Spirit. I do think that you're definitely feeling very tuned in, tapped in, turned on, very deeply connected. And it's as a result of all of these painful energies that you're finally addressing. You're finally leaning into Source for inspiration and I guess support it would be to move through those energies. They're finally closing out. Big cycles for you are finally ending. I'm hearing that you really have had very long standing in your current experience for, if not months, years. And 10 of Cups is clarifying the Moon energy. So what you're not seeing or what's not being made clear to you right now, but that you're feeling into, you're just trusting, you're knowing again and believing and having that optimistic viewpoint in regards to is this idea of a happy ending of things panning out finally. You know, the Tower energy here is central to the spread and it's clarifying the Queen of Cups. I do think, again, there's a lot of difficult energies that are presenting here for you, and yet there's like a counterpart to it. So for every, 10 of Swords, we have the 10 of Cups, we have the Star, we have the Moon. So for all of these energies that are maybe a little bit more challenging, they're a little bit more difficult in nature. The Tower, of course, is going to be a very challenging energy, something that could be sudden and surprising and kind of shake up the foundation. And I'm feeling like that's related actually to your intuitive sense and to your clarity into your own life. We have in the Tower card here this eye, which is open, but yet it has the infinity symbol in it. It's, not viewing things with its physical eyesight. It's actually seeing things through Source or feeling your way through using your third eye, if you will. And again, I'm really drawn to how this is clarifying the Queen of Cups, that emotional, intuitive energy of that queen who's all about connecting with her deeper senses. And she's also connected to the moon, which we have present inside of the tower here, another indicator of leaning into intuition, again, of trust as well with source. There's just a lot of indicators here that as much as there may have been some upheaval surrounding you, the current energy that you're presently sitting in is one of hopefulness, of excitement, of eagerness, and of just trust, of just leaning into that faith and believing, and now not needing to see everything and have evidentiary, support of it, but knowing and trusting because you understand the laws of the universe. Again, this really definitely feels like you're coming into greater awareness in regards to your spirituality. We have the Page of Wands presenting as well, which is again that eagerness, that excitement, that inspiration. I do think that you're feeling a desire to move forward in a lot of different areas, and yet you're not able to act right now. So 8 of Swords energy, clarifying the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands is the Queen of Spirit. She's in her power. She's motivated. She's driven. She feels exactly how she needs to move forward. But with it clarified by the 8 of Swords, the time for acting is not now, or you either do not feel you can act right now, or you're being called to not act at this time. I definitely think it's more along the lines of feeling a slight disempowerment still, in spite of all of these changing energies. Again, the Tower may have come into your field of awareness, but in this card, the Tower hasn't actually fallen. And I don't know if you're in the midst of that Tower moment. Again, it feels like you're at the ending of a cycle completing. However, at the same time, the Tower does still remain standing, leading me to believe, as it's leaning here, that there may still be some things to suss out. And that would be why you're not in this energy of being able to actually move forward and make those changes or take those actions. But you're definitely strategizing. You're definitely thinking. What I like is that, again, there's a lot of leaning into the intuitive sense and leaning into trust and belief and in the higher powers of the universe, and yet also using your practical senses, using the divinely inspired thoughts and intuitive insights, I guess, that are coming through to you to prompt you about the actions you want to take. I just don't think you've actually taken any of them yet. So I'm interested to see actually what it's going to come out for you, Pile 1, in terms of what could be blocking you, because it actually looks like a pretty great energy presently for you in regards to, where you're sitting. But let's go ahead and take a look and see what source brings out. For Pile 1, what are their current blockages, Spirit, to abundance? So we have the Lovers, the Hierophant, the King of Cups coming up over the Queen of Cups. How interesting. The Ace of Wands, such similar energies. 6 of Wands. Clarifying. The Ace of Swords. The 3 of Swords. Queen of Pentacles. The 4 of Wands. And Temperance. Now we'll get some oracle cards from the Healers of the Earth Oracle, which is this. These beautiful green backs. Love these. What is blocking Pile 1 from their abundance? What can you give us? What can you share with us, Spirit? This popped out and actually landed on my leg. Hopefully you can see that. There we go. Flight plan, a trip, a disappearance, lack of closure. Okay. Alrighty, there's definitely something coming through here. We have 20/20 vision, wisdom, visionary ability, and goodwill. And I feel the need to pull one more of these. Anonymous, masked, hiding, secret surveillance. So we've got those out. And let's pull from the new deck, this most exciting Rose Oracle by Rebecca Campbell. She also brought out the I believe it's the Work Your Light and Starseed Oracle decks. all of which have similar style, but I have to say her Rose Oracle, this newest one, is just absolutely phenomenal. What is blocking pile 1 from their abundance? We have Rose without thorns. You have a right to your joy, peace, sweetness of life. Hopefully those are focusing for you. And we have lineage of the rose, moved by the goddess, here for this, so call and gather. Okay, I think that's good for now. Okay, so what's blocking you, pile 1? First of all, it's definitely the energy of another person. This is a loving energy. It feels to be a soul-based connection that you've recently come into awareness of. Now, whether that's you've officially met this person or they've been in your field of awareness for some time and yet you've just discovered the spiritual nature of the connection, there's definitely been some type of, again, awakening or recognition and awareness, a revelation of sorts. There's also been a lot of pain associated with this, you know, sort of like a judgment, a rattling. It does feel to be tower, related to that tower moment beneath the Queen of Pentacles here. We have the Lovers clarified by the Ace of Swords. Again, this is the idea of a relationship or a connection of some sorts that's come into your field of awareness, where it's brought a lot of truth out. It's causing you to take a real hard look at a lot of your own pain, your own need for healing is what I'm getting. The Hierophant, which is number 5, obviously in tarot, representative of higher learning, of spiritual awareness and enlightenment, and it's clarified by the 3 of Swords. Again, there's been a lot of painful revelations regarding this connection. And there's been a lot of lessons and opportunities for growth that you've been moving through as a result, or catalyzed as a result of this connection. And yet it's been very painful for you. I do think this involves likely a separation with someone. The 3 of Swords energy, again, is going to be that grief, loss, heartbreak card, one of emotional distance and pain. And then we had beautifully the King of Cups coming up over the Queen of Cups energy. So this is somebody who's going to possibly be a water sign for you, but again, just representative of this soul-based connection that I think made you feel very secure. With this Queen of Pentacles energy, I got a very codependent sort of message coming through, which is not going to apply to everyone, but for some of you, this person was like your safety net, or this person made you feel as though by having that presence in your life of, I think this was a very stable person, somebody who was very expressive, who had a lot of plans for the two of you. I think this person helped make you feel more secure and more abundant and more kind of in the flow of a lot of these good things that have kind of maybe always eluded you. You thought they were finally coming into you, pile 1. This Queen of Pentacles energy is normally a very wonderful, abundant energy of somebody who has all of their practical affairs in order, who's very aligned and balanced in their life. But, you know, when it's coming up as a clarifier and with this message of this King of Cups energy, and then as that energy departs, so does your confidence level, so does your ability to stay on track and aligned in your spiritual path. It tells me that there was a little bit of a codependent nature ongoing, where it's almost like this savior mentality of always wanting somebody to come in and rescue you. The damsel in the distress energy. We also have the Ace of Wands here, which is a start of something, a spark, a new beginning, and it's clarified by the 4 of Wands. Again, this is the idea that there needs to be a lot of stability for you provided before you can take action, before you can move things forward. It feels as though you very much are deeply rooted. You're somebody who needs to have a lot of security, and you are finding that security, or previously found that security, in other connections, and you're needing to now be setting out on your own. I'm hearing very independently, kind of starting that torch again, lighting that fire and proceeding forth on your own. You're actually afraid of success, quite honestly, pile 1. The message is very clear here with the 6 of Wands clarified by Temperance. There's a big desire here to seek victory and success, and to have this recognition, maybe to be more out in the public eye with whatever your line of work is, or to be more successful, to be more widely known, or just more revered in your path. You know, Temperance clarifying that is this idea of alchemizing, of bringing your gifts to the table and having that merge and blend beautifully into this new endeavor. I'm feeling like there's a definite soul call that you're feeling the need to pursue. that is related to this idea of success. Again, I don't know if this is in work related matters or if it's just your personal life, but it definitely is feeling to me like as much as you're a very powerful being, pile one, you're very afraid of actually taking that step to balance yourself enough to have that success. It feels like the second that you sort of, have a shred of it coming through for you, it sort of falls by the wayside. It falls apart. It can never fully get off the ground. Rose without thorns. You have a right to your joy, peace, sweetness of life. And I think, again, that's where this afraid of happiness, afraid of victory and success, I think that there's a very self-demoralizing sort of energy presenting here, where quite literally there was a period of time where you could even still be working through this energy in which you don't necessarily feel entirely worthy and deserving of all of the success that you desire or all of the happiness. And it says the sweetness of life. The sweetness could even relate to a connection. Perhaps this connection fell by the wayside. It culminated in actually a loss, because you couldn't ever fully ground things. It seems like a lot of things begin for you, pile one. A lot of abundant things come your way. They flow into your experience, and yet you can't ground them and align with them enough to have them stick around. But you're a very powerful person, pile one. We have lineage of the rose. Hopefully this is clarifying for you. Lineage of the rose. Moved by the goddess, here for this, soul call and gather. This is a powerful, powerful person, pile one. This is Empress energy all day to me. This is the idea that you have everything that you possess within you that is capable of giving you this Six of Wands. I'm hearing that for many of you, this abundance, this beautiful life that you've been envisioning is actually right on the cusp for you. 2020 vision. Wisdom, visionary ability, and goodwill. You've been putting in a lot of work in yourself and how you support others. Perhaps you do some type of line of work that, again, allows you to have more recognition in the real world with others. It's definitely an energy of somebody who is, giving a lot of themselves and is really deserving of success and can envision it and has all of the components needed to seek it, and yet is just missing a few vital ingredients that allow everything to merge and blend together perfectly. And then again, we have flight plan here, a trip, a disappearance, and lack of closure. So there was some type of a breakdown in a connection, there's definitely been some lack of closure in some area of your life. Again, we had that current energy you were sitting in being the Ten of Swords. That's a cycle closing out, but it hasn't entirely ended. And so for you, pile one, there's a couple of items of healing that I'm hearing you still need to close out. You're still at the very end of that cycle. It's closing out, but it hasn't completed itself. And there is a need to still reflect and take stock of those things that are still manifesting in your life as a result of that healing not being entirely completed. We have anonymous here, which is masked, hiding, and secret surveillance. I'm actually going to get a clarifier for this one. I'm not entirely sure what that's coming through for us. Okay. And we have card 20. Pick up your sword, take a stand, be heard, and support a cause. Okay, so again, this is coming through to me as, anonymous, as somebody who doesn't want to be seen. You have two very polarizing energies here, pile one. Again, this idea of wanting balance, wanting to be in this perfect alignment with the divine plan, which I think is honestly for you to be this lineage of the rose, this goddess energy, this empress, somebody who is very much abundant and successful and out in the public eye. But yet, as we have this Six of Wands, we also have this Eight of Swords beneath it, which is that inability to move forward, that inability to make things fully come together. And in these two oracle cards, we see the same energy. We see anonymous, somebody who doesn't want to be seen, who wants to go unnoticed. It says masked, hiding. And then we have pick up your sword, take a stand, be heard, and support a cause. So the very opposite, someone who stands out and who, leads, who takes charge, who supports a cause, who supports their own fulfillment and success and abundance. So quite frankly, what's happening for you, pile one, is you're standing in your own way because you have unhealed wounds that are continuing to plague you and rob you of this ability to feel secure and safe in your own success, which is, I know, a difficult message to hear because a lot of us like to move ourselves from the driver's seat. And for a long time, I can even say for myself, the way that I viewed things was that life was happening to me, and that I was a victim instead of life was happening through me, or that I was actually creating the life that was presenting out in my physical experience. Now, with the law of attraction, we attract everything that comes into our world, whether that's positive or negative. Manifestation works in both directions. So with that, comes the need to take accountability that as much as, nobody's necessarily deserving of difficulties in life, but contrast is always going to happen. Number one, there are always opportunities for growth and expansion, which is why we're here. But also, it's important to understand that when those opportunities present, we need to see the value in them and move through them and not dwell and not feel victimized and feel empowered instead, that we're strong enough and more powerful enough that we can literally take a stand, pick up our sword, and we can fight another day. We can continue to move forward. Nobody needs to be at the mercy of their own energy and what they're bringing forth in their experience, what they're manifesting. We want to, again, empower you to be able to manifest in the right direction. It definitely feels like there's a lot going on, though, with this energy also of this person who sort of maybe is no longer a part of your experience. So I'd like to get some information on that. What is this King of Cups energy for pile 1, please? We have the Sun, 5 of Wands, the Devil, and the King of Wands. This is somebody who you were very drawn to and vice versa. There was a lot of happiness in this connection, but there was also a lot of challenge and struggle or difficulty. For some of you, I do think that this person had a past or some issues in their own personal life that kind of overtook this beautiful, loving energy that existed between you. And for others, there was just a lot of little things. Again, it's feeling like a mirrored energy here. Like both of you had the inability to really fully put full stock into this connection as much as you both desired it and wanted it equally. You both are fearful of it actually working out and being successful. I think you both, I'm getting a people-pleasing energy here. So this is somebody who sacrifices their own happiness, their joy for others. They feel guilty if they put themselves first, or they could even be gaslighted to be felt that they're selfish if they do so. And I think that was a struggle for your person as well. King of Wands, yeah, the Knight of Swords. This person acted very impulsively with you. They were very direct. They were very engaged and drawn to you, and then they suddenly had to take a step back with this Nine of Wands energy. And I do think it's because they got caught up in their head. Again, there's something going on with this person that they've had to take a step away from you. Let's see what that is with this Devil. 7 of Pentacles. I think they're already involved in something, either work or a family. Knight of Pentacles. It's something they've been working on for a very long time, or they've been very invested in, very deeply rooted in, and they're not able to come forward to you because they're already committed or tied up elsewhere. There's already an engagement or an investment elsewhere is what I'm getting. Why that's important to this connection, or why this connection is important to your abundance, is what I want to take a deeper look at, because I think that's important for you to understand as well. I'm feeling for the majority of the viewers watching this pile, you don't feel like a codependent person. I think it'll be very surprising for you to recognize that this person kind of stepping out of your life has actually impacted you in a significant way. So what is going on? What else is going on with this? Okay. So first of all, I want to say to you, pile 1, that you're doing an amazing job of moving forward despite these difficult energies. Again, I think that cycle is on its way to closing out. It hasn't done so entirely yet, but it's getting there. At the same time, I think there's a lot of bitterness that you're holding for how this situation ended. Again, we had that card of lack of closure. It's made you feel very unworthy and undeserving. Again, this idea of a rose without thorns. So like you've been stripped of something vital to you. It just feels like there's an integral part of you that feels a strong sense of lack inherently within yourself with this 5 of Pentacles energy. And that's important for you to heal and recognize, because if you don't feel deserving of the abundance that's available to you, or that you want to call in, that you're trying to manifest, then you won't ever reach that level that you could. Again, that level of success and this goddess energy, this beautiful abundance that you could be victorious in, because there's, again, that just organic lack that resides within you. So it's really important to work on that energy. And I think that ties in with this person, you know, this connection. Anytime we have a rejection, even if it's divinely guided, it's always going to weigh on us. And we have to process through that difficulty, that bitterness that we may feel. If we don't do that, then it's going to be very difficult for us to move forward and to feel a bit more empowered. Again, that Queen of Wands energy that we had, and then she was situated beneath the Eight of Swords. You're not feeling in your power right now, pile one. You're not feeling like coming forward and collaborating with others, putting yourself out into the world. I do think you still feel pretty guarded. Again, this is going to be slightly different messages and how it relates for everyone. But, you know, overall, I think that there's been a lot of difficulty happening in your experience. You're manifesting a lot of things that are counterproductive to your desires. And it all resides within this inherent lack of self-worth, and being afraid of success, being afraid of it actually materializing, because then also it's just like a relationship. It's just like anything that we get in life. Whenever we actually get it, there's a very distinct possibility that we have to face that we could lose it. And that can be very scary and very daunting. So it's important that we, you know, always stay balanced, stay aligned, you know, do what we can to not allow our fears, our fear-based logical thinking to impact us. We have to lean into the universal source energy that is so all-knowing. It's so powerful. It always has our back. The universe is always making a way for us. And it's, you know, you can trust the divine plan. You can trust also that you are meant for this beautiful Six of Wands, this glorious, victorious energy. It can be yours, pile one. So let's go ahead and get some further information for you on what you can do now that we've identified what the blockage is. I want to get some very clear guidance for you on what you can actually do to overcome this, how you can manifest more abundance in your life this month and just in general in life. It's important. What is the guidance for pile one, please? How can they move through this energy? So we have the Two of Swords, Death. All right, the Four of Swords, and the Magician. From the Healers of the Earth Oracle, once again, guidance for pile one. We have pleasant distraction, amusement, entertainment, and captivation. Feng Shui, butterfly, change, renewal, releasing obstructions. And purity, virtue, goodness, a pillar of society. Is that focusing for you? There. From the Rose Oracle, once again, guidance for pile one. Healing is happening. You're not broken. Trust the process. It's safe to soften. Absolutely. And the Breathing Rose. Heart healing, emotions, connection, time eases. Oh, this is beautiful. Beautiful pile one. We'll get some final cards from the Moonology Manifestation Oracle. Of course, we want to manifest great things. So how can we do it? Pile one, guidance for pile one on how they can manifest. Now, how can they release these blockages? We have honor your feelings, first quarter moon in Pisces. So we've got some lovely water energy coming out for you. First quarter moon in Taurus, release control. New moon in Taurus, know your worth. And I felt so guided to pull one more. And look at that. First quarter moon in Libra, make time for self-love. These are beautiful cards for you, pile one. The guidance is very clear from Spirit. This is a very direct message. First of all, you need to come out of a period of indecision and allow the divine flow of life to change you, to move you and transform you. I get that you're very tired. You know, we have the Two of Swords here and the Four of Swords. So these mental energies of the swords presenting. And 1 represents rest and respite, perhaps after a period of difficulty, recovery as well. Again, if that 10 of Swords energy has been recent, you may actually be in a period of active recovery. And then the 2 of Swords, which is indecision, confusion, being unclear on the way forward. Again, there was also that anonymous card that we saw earlier, which is about you not knowing necessarily how to come forward. You want to just be in hiding. You want to hang back and be formless, anonymous, masked. This is about taking off the mask, about becoming clear about your desires and allowing life and trusting life to change you and move you and transform you into something new. Death indicated here is a beautiful energy. It doesn't represent an actual death. If you're new to tarot, it's rarely, if ever, I think one time in a private reading, it presented in a combination with other cards, but rarely, if ever, does it actually represent a physical death. However, death energy here coming in with this card 7, reducing to 761, which is Feng Shui butterfly, change, renewal, and releasing obstructions. Again, this is releasing all of those, feelings of indecision, of confusion, feeling unworthiness, everything that holds you back. This for me is just the mental blockages that exist within you. And as you do that, you'll experience a profound and deeply transformative change, a renewal of sorts. It'll be a releasing that allows you to come into this beautiful state of manifestation. Again, if you're feeling the need to rest and recover right now, that's okay. But at some point, you have to let go of the reins. We also have here first quarter moon in Taurus, release control. And again, pile 1, it's so important for you to do this because you have to get to the point where you're allowing life to manifest for you, allowing your desires to come in. You can't be so invested in the process that you're actually impeding your own ability to move forward. The Magician energy here is very strongly indicative of your ability, again, to manifest exactly what you're hoping for. In order to do this, though, again, it's important for you to embrace those changes. And also, we have pleasant distraction here, which is a card of amusement, entertainment, and captivation. This is about having more fun. Make time for self-love, make time for rest, make time for just enjoying oneself. Again, you're worthy and deserving of a beautiful, sweet life that has everything within it that life can offer you. You are entitled to all of that as your divine birthright, just as it is for everyone else. And you have to stop denying yourself that, pile 1. We also have here several indications of healing happening. We actually have healing is happening. You're not broken. Oops. You're not broken. Trust the process, and it's safe to soften. Again, it's safe to just lean into trusting the universe and knowing, that you're worthy and deserving of that great life by cultivating, making time for self-love, for self-worth work, inner work, revolving around knowing your worth here. Excuse me. This allows you to heal that brokenness within inside of you and trusting the process, trusting it's safe to soften to what the universe is presenting, releasing that control. By softening, you release resistance, you release the need for such assertion, and you just allow life to flow. Allow it to go with whatever it's going to. And it's going to take you to an amazing place, an absolutely beautiful, beautiful place that you're going to love. I'm hearing, where you're headed is kind of like this beautiful purity energy. Again, a renewal is indicated here, a starting over. Virtue, goodness, a pillar of society, card 28. That may be a significant number for you. It also reduces again to a number 10, a cycle completing. We have all of these butterflies here if you chose that as a sign, indicative of transformation yet again. But it's just this idea of this change, this transformation, this renewal that allows you to start anew, to start over, and to eventually attain that success that you've been seeking. You also need to honor your feelings, pile 1. We have the breathing rose here, which says heart healing, emotions, connection, and time eases. So, if there has been anything that's hurt your heart, and I do sense that there's been, again, that disconnect with that 3 of Swords energy, whatever, if it relates to a relationship or it relates to past traumas that heart healing is occurring. Allow that to happen and honor your feelings as you work through those emotions with this first quarter moon in Pisces, all of that watery energy. Allow yourself to feel those emotions, but just know at the same time, again, you're not broken. You can trust the process of what's happening and you don't have to be in total control. The universe has got you. Everything is always working out for you and it's on its way to manifesting some great things. Again, you're right there, pile one. That magician energy is very strong within you. You just have to know your worth. You have to know that you're worthy and deserving and feel that at a deep level. Have that self-love cultivated within so that you have nothing standing in your way and impeding you from manifesting this beautiful, beautiful energy. So pile one, I so hope that you've enjoyed this reading. It's a first for me for this, 3/3 portal activation. Make great use of this day, of this month, of this next year. Take every day one day at a time, but just know that there is so much goodness ahead for you. There's only just a bit of healing and a little bit of releasing of some resistant energies that need to take place, and then you are on your way, pile one. If you have enjoyed the reading and it has resonated for you, I would love for you to go ahead and like, share, subscribe, click the notification bell if you haven't done so. Again, it just means so much to me. Comment if you like, share with me how this reading resonated for you. And until next time, pile one, I am wishing you so much abundant, prosperous, loving energy. I hope you take great, great care. And until next time, bye-bye. Hi, pile two, welcome to your reading. You chose this, I want to call this the lime calcite. And this beautiful green Journey of the Sacred Bee tarot. So today is a really special day. It is March 3rd if you're seeing this when this reading is first being uploaded. It is the 3/3 portal, and threes in tarot and numerology and spirituality all represent creation, Empress energy, beautiful abundance and prosperity. And of course, the month of luck that we're in, March, is just all about this gorgeous, fortuitous energy that surrounds material abundance, financial, just bright blessings, beautiful energy. So I thought, why not, make our portal activation be about what blessings need to come in for you, are on their way and are ready and right there waiting, and yet you're blocking them. Pile one was really wonderful. It got very deep. I didn't expect that at all, but we'll see what comes through for you. We're going to go ahead and then ask Spirit today to share with us what is blocking you from your abundance and your prosperity so that we can help open things up for you and make this month of March just a really amazing month of luck for you. So we'll start with the tarot. Again, the Journey of the Sacred Bee, beautiful independent deck. We'll also pull a lot of oracle cards. We'll get guidance for you. We'll get all the details for you today. So take a moment, ready yourself for the reading. Set your intention that you are going to put yourself into receiving mode so that you are open to the messages that Source wants to bring forth for you today. And when you've done that, I would also ask you to select a sign. That can be anything at all, although I don't suggest bees because there's so many in this deck. But anything else, a name, a number, an animal, a place, anything of significance for you that when you see it, you will know that that is a divine nod from Spirit helping to allow you to affirm the messages and take them in as true for you. So we'll start by asking what energy you're currently sitting in overall. I want to get a feel for where you're at in life currently, and then we'll take a look at exactly what's happening in terms of what you may what may be blocking you from manifesting your true desires and having the most abundant month ever. So for pile two, what energy is pile two currently sitting in? We have the Princess of Swords. And this is a new setup, so bear with me while I get a little OCD with my cards here. We have the Two of Wands, which is Dominion. The Emperor. And we'll do one more. We have the Root of the Powers of Fire, the Ace of Wands. clarifying these energies, we have the Knight of Swords for the Princess or Page of Swords. The Four of Cups, Apathy. The King of Swords for the Emperor. And the King of Wands for the Ace of Wands. So pile 2, the energy that you're presently sitting in is very, very assertive, very much in your masculine power, regardless of gender. We have so much Wands energy here. Of course, we have the Emperor presenting as well, which is a symbol of divine masculinity. And we have Swords presenting as well. The only Cups card, which is indicative of emotion that we have here, is actually the Four of Cups, Apathy. So there's a lot of difficult energies presenting for me, but primarily, again, I'm seeing somebody who is feeling in their power and feeling ready to take charge, but it feels a little bit ill-dignified, if I'm honest with you. Let's start at the far left here of the spread. We have the Page of Swords, or the Princess of Swords, which is about distance. It could be about defensiveness. I'm getting a very distinct, sort of just a mental fatigue or a mental difficulty. We have all of the pages, all of the swords energy of the, in the sword suit. We have all of the male energies of those swords. We have the Princess or Page of Swords, typically is usually a male child. We have the Knight of Swords as well, and we have the King of Swords. So all of these swords energies, these really strong mental energies of the mental body, is making me think that there's a lot of just overthinking taking place for you. I felt a distinct sense of anxiety, possibly depression as well, indicated with this Four of Cups energy. And again, we have just a lot of almost indignancy. We have a very strong desire to control things outwardly from our physical place in the world with our actions, thinking that if we only work harder, if we take charge, we'll finally get somewhere. The Two of Wands dominion is all about control and power as well, and decision making. It's clarified by the Four of Cups, Apathy. So I think as much as you are in this thinking phase, or this thinking mode, if you will, feeling very divinely guided perhaps, or very inspired and fired up to take action, it does very strongly feel to me as though you're not prepared to actually do so. Again, your thoughts are sort of all over the place. You're not really grounded in what you're currently thinking. You're not able to come to really direct decision making. And I do think that you are struggling with this Two of Wands to gain control, to have the right, form of power. When ill-dignified, the Emperor, who's a very powerful figure as well, is again going to represent the distorted masculine energy. And with this King of Wands, with this Lion energy as well, I can definitely see and feel this sense of just a ferociousness to this. I mean, quite honestly, I think the viewers watching this pile are just very, I wouldn't be surprised if you're just feeling very on edge lately. There's a lot of heavy, heavy energy here. I want to find out why. What's going on that this person, that pile 2, is having so much difficulty right now? Why is this energy coming out? We have the Princess or Page of Wands. And the Five of Cups, disappointment. Okay. That's where that apathy is coming in as well. The Three of Wands, virtue. And the Princess of Discs. So as I said, that we had so much masculine energy, then here all the princesses come out. And I guess in this deck, we'll take them as female because they're presenting that way with feminine images. So the Princess or Page of Wands, the Five of Cups, disappointment, the Three of Wands, virtue, and the Princess or Page of Discs, which is Pentacles. So again, I think that there's an energy here of a lot of underdevelopment. All of these pages representing to me this idea of things kind of not ever fully getting off the ground. Perhaps you've had difficulty in your material or practical affairs, as well as getting motivated to actually move forward and take charge, do things that you're needing to do. It's very much feeling to me like plans never coming to fruition, or nothing ever working out to your satisfaction, working out in your favor. And again, this idea with these pages of all of this energy sort of, it feels a little frenetic. It feels a little like it's all out in space for me. It's very chaotic. Nothing's grounded. Nothing's, you have so much desire. You have so many plans. Even with the Three of Wands energy, this could be a planning, organizing. I'm even getting a daydreamy energy of somebody who, thinks a lot about what they'd like to do, but doesn't actually take action to do it, or isn't grounded enough to actually take that action. with all of this underdeveloped or immature energy of the pages, it just seems like life is feeling a bit out of sorts for you, a bit chaotic, and like things just aren't moving forward for you. So that's a good base to start off of. And we're going to go ahead now and take a look at what's actually blocking you from maybe gaining more alignment, having a better focus forward, being able to take charge of your life. We have the Chariot energy coming out first. And I don't normally take things reversed, but this one came out reversed, and I feel it should be that way. So we have the World in reverse. We have the Queen of Swords. And the Priestess. High Priestess, number 2. Clarifying these energies. We have the Hanged One. We have Alchemy. This is Temperance in this deck. The Nine of Wands, Persistence. And the Queen of Cups. This is a very strong message. Pile 2. Pile 2, you've got to start heeding your intuition. I do think you're very intuitive, and I do think that you're aware that you're not heeding your intuition. But let's pull some more cards before we begin. So Healers of the Earth Oracle got green vibes today. This is a beautiful deck for March. What is blocking pile 2? Time to fly south, travel, vacation, getting away for a while. The law of balance, harmony, equity, avoiding extremes. And the clock is ticking. Time to act, preventable loss, a deadline. Okay, strong energies. I got to get started in a moment, or I'm gonna burst. These messages need to come through here. And from the Rose Oracle by Rebecca Campbell, this newest deck. And if you end up enjoying how this looks, and like, look at this, how could you not? That's like stunning. This deck, I actually just did a full deck review and walkthrough earlier today. That video is up at the time that this will be uploaded. That video will already be up. And if you're interested in that, go ahead and check out that video in that playlist. We have healing is happening. You're not broken. Trust the process, and it's safe to soften. This deck, this card also came out for pile 1. And we have the Second Bloom, a second chance. It's never too late, and new possibilities. This also came out for one of the mini pick a card readings today in the deck review video. So if this is resonating, I would definitely check that out. Okay, so pile 2, where to begin? Pile 2, what's coming through very clearly for me is, again, this idea that you're not heeding intuition. I do feel that you're an extremely intuitive and likely gifted individual, and you're very connected to spirit. We have the Priestess energy here, which is the High Priestess. Look at these moons above her. You know, this is someone who's very tapped in, who's very easily able to intuit the best course of action with any circumstance. I mean, I don't think you have any issues tapping in and have a very strong development of personal intuition. It's clarified by the Queen of Cups, another emotional and yet intuitive energy as well. I do think that this is your downfall at times, though. The Queen of Cups energy is someone who is extremely compassionate and empathic. And this can represent somebody who actually struggles, you know, to perhaps balance out, you know, their feelings for a situation versus what's really actually their intuition. With the Queen of Swords energy presenting, clarified by the Nine of Wands, persistence, this is actually reading to me like somebody who continues to remain in their mental body, who wants control, who wants to think their way through things instead of feeling. And I want to be clear, you think one way, which is this Queen of Cups, this emotional energy. You know, you feel a lot of compassion for people, you feel a lot of depth of emotion, and yet that's not always the best course of action, is feeling into that emotional reactiveness. You need to lean into the actual intuition, these intuitive insights that you're receiving from spirit and not in your mental body. Oh, excuse me. That was very weird. Not in your mental body with this Queen of Swords energy. The Queen of Swords is someone who can actually be perceived as quite cold as well, quite, judgmental or cynical and critical. She's very much in her mind, and she's very much an assertive and almost aggressive energy. And with this Nine of Wands persistence, I do feel like you are very much a go-getter. And again, we saw in that present energy you're sitting in, pile 2, there is so much masculine energy. It's actually overly masculine, especially if you're a divine feminine, core, or a female gendered person. I would say your masculine energy is very much out of balance. So there's a lot of persistence. There's a lot of desire to continue to be a go-getter and to drive forward and to just pursue things, again, at a practical or intellectual level, to pursue it with that, passionate and drive and desire, the passionate energy that you feel with all of those wands presenting. And yet I don't think that that is always the right way to go. It does feel like you're not listening and heeding into the true intuition and feeling your way through the situation through that intuitive sense, that physical sensation with the intuitive body connecting to spirit. You're more leaning on your mental capacity, your mental faculties, or your impulses in order to make decisions. We have over here the Chariot, and it's clarified by the Hanged One. So this is saying that while there's a divine plan, of course, in place for you, it feels as though you often are sort of dragging your feet, is what it feels like. This is someone who's hanging back and who's not allowing the divine flow to occur. In fact, you're not allowing a major cycle to close out and to create that alchemy within so that you can move forward. I want to find out what that relates to, but there is definitely a huge cycle that needs to close out that you continue to keep open. And as long as the World in reverse here, which is not allowing something to come to completion, as long as that continues to sort of hang out there, you see it represents a big blockage that doesn't allow that Chariot energy to flow through freely. What is this World energy? Nine of Swords, despair. There's a lot of anxiety. I definitely felt that. I felt anxiety, depression, a general lack of apathy for life. A lot of, again, this can also relate back to that as well. Being in the mental body, very much overthinking or, thinking your way through things, misinterpreting either anxious thoughts or depressive behavioral patterns as being, genuine guidance. I do feel like as intuitive as you are, pile 2, a lot of that's being clouded by some of these other elements. We have the clock is ticking. So time to act, preventable loss, and a deadline. And I think that's a huge message coming in with this Queen of Swords energy. You often feel, pile 2, like you're running out of time. And it's important for you to know, and especially with this second bloom card coming out, you're not running out of time for anything. A second chance, it's never too late, and new possibilities. So very much, pile 2, you need to understand that there's, if there's any sort of anxiety, and it wouldn't really be anxiety, it would be more depressive energy, I think, but it could be both. If there's any sort of lingering, mental illness concerning how life has played out for you thus far, and I do think that's a factor, that you've run out of time, or that time is running out, that you're not, getting anywhere, Spirit wants you to know there's a second bloom happening, and there's a second chance available to you. There's always new potential, new possibilities, that, that divine energy with this world wants to close things out, wants to create that alchemy for you, and wants to propel you forward with this Chariot energy. It's never too late. Travel, time to fly south. Travel, vacation, and getting away for a while. And we also have the law of balance, harmony, equity, and avoiding extremes. So I think it's important for you, again, if you're catastrophizing or if you're getting into very depressive episodes, pile 2, that you take whatever measures you need to in order to balance out, to create that inner equilibrium and harmony. Avoid extremes, either in your thought process, in your actions. Again, if there's any kind of impulsivity that you're engaging in, I would highly suggest that you, take steps to control that as well, because that does seem to be impacting you and creating, more difficult circumstances for you down the line. If you're needing to get away or take respite, have some peace, that may be something indicated for you that you could do. If it's difficult for you to do that, I'm hearing meditation, taking some time out in nature, taking a hike or a walk, even taking a drive by yourself, and just really allowing yourself to get into a meditative state, that's going to allow you to achieve some of that inner balance. We have healing is happening. So despite all of these anxious or depressive energies, all of this difficulty, you're not broken. Trust the process, and it's safe to soften. So trust that everything is still flowing how it needs to. Even though you're creating blockages and you're not allowing everything to flow as easily, it doesn't mean that things still aren't moving forward. There are blockages that are preventing certain things from flowing into you currently, pile 2, flowing into your life rather. But it doesn't mean that nothing is working out for you. And in fact, I do think there's quite a bit that's working in your favor. And again, you have a second chance available to you. It's very important that you know this and that you sort of start to release this, really anxious energy that you're feeling about time running out, the clock is ticking. And just focus on your peace, your state of mind, and your balance, your alignment with self. Get back in touch with source, with that intuitive sense that you possess, and lean less on the mental, the logical. I'm hearing that that's definitely an area where you're needing to heal and release. So what else? Is there anything else for pile 2? What else do we need to know? We have the King of Discs, which is the King of Pentacles. The Two of Cups, love. And Two of Swords, peace. And the Knight of Pentacles. I'm going to pull a few more. Feng Shui, butterfly, change, renewal, and releasing obstructions. And one more from this Rose Oracle. Rose without thorns. This also came out for pile 1. You have a right to your joy, peace, and sweetness of life. So pile 2, this is a very sad energy coming out for you, but I do think that overall, what Spirit is saying is that there is a lot of inherent stability that's available to you and that resides within you. It feels like nothing ever fully progresses. Again, I had that energy come through in the beginning of the reading where you feel as though nothing ever fully gets off the ground, or you have a hard time grounding any action that you take. Everything is usually either overthinking it, very much in your mental body, or it's impulsive. It's leading with, very quick action that isn't always very rational or very well planned, well thought out, or more importantly, it's not intuitively guided. So this is here to tell you that with this King of Pentacles and this Knight of Pentacles energy, that you can ground things, pile 2. You can get into a flow state where you're able to ground your energy, again, achieve that balance, allow yourself to be more guided by that intuitive sense, and you can begin to make better choices and, more importantly, more decisive action, more ability to organize and get some things moving in a good direction within your life. We have the Two of Cups energy, which is love. And this actually came through to me not as a relationship. Relationship was more prominent in pile 1. But for this pile, Two of Cups to me is actually just making me think of love. Love between you and source. Love that you have for anyone in your life. And love for self as well. With this Two of Swords energy, peace. And as you can see, there's actually nothing peaceful about this card. She's, quite beside herself, quite upset, crying. And I think she's actually made of stone. I just think there's a lot of sadness. Again, depression is definitely coming through this pile. And Two of Swords is typically not a card of peace. It's a card of either indecision and confusion. And again, there's just more swords energy here about not having a very clear picture of things, either from the mental perspective or in terms of intuiting and guiding yourself through intuitive impression. And I didn't even realize that this was the Two of Swords before I said that there was a need to have more decisive action and more grounded action. But that is indicated as well. When you achieve that level of peace, learning to love self, learning to love others in a balanced way, just, leaning on those you need to for support when needed. Knowing that you are deserving of happiness and joy and sweetness. If you're a people pleaser, which is an energy that came through, I think, for pile 1, what was also indicated here, having a very strong sense of empathy, wanting to help others, being very compassionate with this Queen of Cups energy. If this is something that you feel often, you may be robbing yourself of your own sense of peace because you don't fully believe that you deserve joy. You feel like you have to help others and help others achieve that, but yet not experience that yourself. And I'm here to tell you that what's coming through is, definitely to let you know that it's possible for you to attain this level of peace, that you can lift all of the cloudiness surrounding all of this mental fatigue and confusion and depression, these anxious thoughts, everything that you're feeling that's holding you back. You're able to release and let go of quite easily. just take some dedicated time to focus on healing. And I know that's difficult for you. That's why it's important. Just change, renewal, releasing obstructions with that time to fly south vacation and getting away energy. It's time for you to start prioritizing yourself, pile 2. That's what's really impeding you from everything that you desire. So now that we know what's blocking you, how can we release it? How can we help pile 2, Spirit? What is the guidance for pile 2 on releasing these blockages? We have the root of the powers of earth. This is going to be the Ace of Pentacles. We have the Five of Swords, defeat. The Two of Pentacles, change. And card 0, journey. These are very similar messages for guidance for pile 1 as well. And guidance for pile 2, please. Radiotoxic. We have toxic environment, emotional vampires. Again, empathy, narcissist paradigm coming through for me. Toxic environments, sound healing. Now that's an interesting one. Healing tones, self-expression, and music. Let's pull one more. Ice fishing, breakthroughs, increased self-awareness. Okay. And guidance for pile 2, please. Healing the mother line. Healing, ancestral work, mother line, and growing up. These are all great cards, some of which came out earlier today rather. And the rose thread, which says, inner call, soul-led, the mystic, living courageously. These are beautiful cards, beautiful messages for you, pile 2. Last but not least, from the Moonology Manifestation Oracle, because we want to manifest, right? So how do we do it? Pull some manifestation cards and see what we've got. Guidance for pile 2, please. Full moon in Aries, cool your emotions. Full moon in Pisces, forgive. And full moon in Capricorn, take a reality check. Oh, so much here. Pile 2. All full moon cards for guidance, which is wonderful. Full moons represent to me this idea of things almost being completed. They're coming to culmination. And really, with that world in reverse, it's just like if that could just turn upright, there will be so much positive momentum flowing for you. The world is a good closure. It's a good completion. It's a happy ending. There's something really big that does need to close out for you. And I do think in general, it's a cycle of healing related to worthiness, and there could actually be a mother wound associated here. We do have the healing the mother line, so you could actually have a poor relationship with the mother or mother figure, maybe your own self as a mother, and kind of coming to terms with something. I'm hearing for some of you there is insecurity surrounding yourself as a parent and how you've raised your own children, if you've been there enough, or if you've provided what you needed to your own children, if you've proved to be a better parent than your parent was. We have healing, ancestral work, mother line, and growing up. It is time to finally grow up, pile 2. Regardless of your chronological age, it does feel as though there's a lot of ancestral healing needed. Again, could be tied to actual generational patterns or toxicity. Again, radiotoxic, toxic environment, and emotional vampires is indicated here. So you may have a narcissist empath paradigm with someone in your life, could be a mother figure. We do have this Queen of Cups energy here, which can be a very vulnerable individual. She is an empath. She's very deeply nurturing and compassionate. And so there's a call here to recognize that what you can do to guide yourself and release any of these blockages is to put yourself in better energy, to create that balance, to allow that healing to remove you from all of these toxic patterns and to heal from, some of these difficult relationships perhaps, or difficult dynamics involving the mother energy for you. We also have here, cool your emotions, forgive, and take a reality check. The reality check card is interesting to me because we also got this ice fishing card, which is breakthroughs, increased self-awareness. So I think it's important that you recognize, Pile 2, that there are some bits of healing to still work on, that you very much do lean into masculine energy that prevents you from being able to allow things to flow to you in a more natural way. By taking that reality check, it's going to allow you to see things more clearly and begin that process of healing. The healing, I believe, does involve, allowing there to be a release of any negative emotions and forgiving perhaps yourself or others. And again, just knowing that you're deserving of a happy life, of that joy and sweetness, and that you don't have to continue to hold on to all of these difficult either relationships or memories, anything tied to your soul's history that is holding you back. We have here the rose thread, and this says, inner call, soul-led, the mystic, and living courageously. And I love that it says the mystic on here and the soul call, because I do think that you are somebody who's, again, very powerful. I had that high priestess and queen of cups energy come out for you. And that to me is a very, very powerful divine feminine energy, someone very intuitive, someone who's very in touch with spirit, with source. It's just needing to heed that call, live courageously, break out of all of these illusions. Again, take that reality check, know what things need to be cut away and what healing needs to be done, and then get serious and grounded in it so that you can actually do it. To take a reality check to me also means to just acknowledge that this is finally the time to start doing the work. You have a new beginning with the journey of the Fool here represented for you. It really can happen. You can have a completely new life, Pile 2. It says the mystic, that's somebody who just has the ability to tap into so much higher wisdom, who possesses so much inner wisdom and insight and knowing. You have to heed the soul call, though, the inner call. Be soul led, be led by what you feel intuitively needs to occur for your healing, and not what your mind says, not what your anxious thoughts or your emotions tell you. Cooling your emotions, I believe, relates specifically to your the depression and depressive anxiety, those types of emotions and energies that came through earlier. Again, forgiveness indicated here for anybody who may have slighted you in the past, anywhere you feel that you need to do some extra healing in regards to. Again, the root of powers of earth, the Ace of Pentacles, a new beginning is indicated here for you, a solid, stable, grounded new beginning. The guidance is you can have that, but you have to release all of this bitterness of the past, this Five of Swords defeat energy. A lot of things, in your past, obviously you cannot change, but you can change going forward, Pile 2, with this Two of Pentacles energy. The change is up to you from this point forward. You're in control of your own life, and as long as you take the reins of that, but you allow yourself to be guided by spirit, who is always working for you, helping you to find your way, you are going to, get back on track. Sound healing is also indicated with healing tones, self-expression, and music. So music may be very healing for you. It may be a strong sign for you often. It may be some way that you allow yourself to sort of decompress. Again, with that vacation time card, time to fly south, that may be something that you can engage in independently, is just listening to music and sort of allowing yourself to become, meditative in that sense. Whatever needs to happen, the main healing that needs to occur for you, Pile 2, is to release some type of mother wounding, either with yourself or a parent. Cool your emotions regarding a lot of the past. It seems to be more the past with you. And with this energy presenting forth about forgiveness, about needing to see things more clearly, and about resolving those inner conflicts and those conflicts with others in your life. Release that, bitterness, that energy of defeat, literally, that things have never worked out for you in your life, and know you can change that trajectory at any time. As long as you do that healing, again, you're a mystic, Pile 2. You have so much ability to live courageously, like it says, and to really pursue a life that is worth living and that's meaningful and that looks nothing like it does today. Not where everything's scattered and chaotic and nothing's grounded and coming forth and really presenting itself in a solid way to you. That healing is possible, and that when you do that, things become more aligned and balanced, and then you have that clarity to go forward. You've taken that reality check, and now you know how to continue on your journey. Literally, the journey, how to have that new beginning with that Fool's energy presenting for you. We had so many positive indicators that as long as you can get this healing work in, a whole new life, not just some abundance, but a whole new way of being is available to you. that Chariot energy wants to continue moving forward, wants you to keep going on that divine path, but you have to be tuned in. You have to always stay in receiving mode with that intuitive state and not be leaning on, any other senses, the physical, human, five senses. You need to lean into that sixth sense, that beautiful, beautiful crown energy, and just lean into spirit, because you're a very spiritual being, Pile 2, and I know that you can do it. So this reading was a little all over the place, but I really honestly think that that's your energy as well, quite honestly. And I think it presented a lot of really great advice for you. Hopefully it was helpful to you and it resonated. I'll apologize for the wobbliness. If this reading did resonate for you, Pile 2, and you've enjoyed it, I would so love and be so thankful for you if you would decide to like, share, or subscribe. Come around again for another reading. I like to do this several times a week as I'm able. And today's was a really powerful one. Again, this is the 3/3 portal activation, so make the most of it. Have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful week. A great rest of the month ahead. I am sending you so much loving, abundant, healing vibes in the meantime. I hope so much that this energy changes for you soon, Pile 2. I know what that struggle can be like. Again, I hope that this reading has helped support you and provide you with some clarity. And until next time, I hope you take really good care of yourself. Bye-bye. Hi, Pile 3. Welcome to your reading. You chose, I believe, this Jade Tower. I want to say that's Jade. And the beautiful Flora Tarot. And you chose my favorite deck. This actually has the 4-leaf clover on the front as the main symbol for the design. So what a more appropriate tarot for this beautiful month of March. And as the video title indicates, this is a very special day and a special reading. It is the 3/3 portal activation. So March 3rd at the time that this reading is being uploaded. And I forgot to say this for the other piles, but just know too, if you're seeing this at a later time, this reading is still timeless. It will resonate whenever you're finding it. It's just utilizing the powerful energies of this current period of time at the time of uploading and recording the reading, to support you. So we're going to be asking today, what is blocking you from your abundance and your prosperity? Number 3s in tarot are all about Empress energy. So beautiful abundance, prosperity. It's a very fortuitous energy of just, blessings, wonderfulness. So with this month of March, with this just great energy that's flowing right now, I thought, why not? Let's see, the energy of creation and of abundance flowing. Let's take a look at what wants to flow into your experience and perhaps what you're blocking out, what's not coming through for you. We can all use a little bit of guidance from spirit on how to have more blessings in our life. So that's what we're going to do for you today, is hopefully provide answers from source. Both the piles 1 and 2 went wonderful. So we'll see how yours goes. Go ahead and before we begin, get yourself in the receiving mode. Get ready for the reading. Set your intention that you are open to receiving whatever messages source wants to come through for you today. Again, this is a very powerful reading for this 3/3 portal activation, centered around what is blocking your abundance and prosperity from flowing to you. So ensure that you're ready to receive whatever those messages are. I did not intend for these readings to be so deep, but both piles have so far today been very, very in-depth and very healing focused. So just be prepared for that. And when you've done that, also go ahead and select a sign. It can be anything at all, a name, a number, an object, an animal, anything that when you see it, you'll know that it's a little nod from spirit, and it affirms for you that you can take in these messages as true, that the messages are intended for you. We will begin with the tarot, and then from there pull some oracle cards as well for you. Get some guidance, as I said. But to begin, we're going to go ahead and ask Spirit what energy you're presently sitting in, pile 3. That does give me some context and also allows you to know if this reading is for you. If this is the current energy you're in, then this is your pile. If not, you may want to choose to explore one of the other piles and see if it's a better fit for you. So, for pile 3, What energy are they currently sitting in? Well, Flora is a gorgeous energy to be in. She's a card unique to this deck, and she's gorgeous. She's actually the goddess of fertility. I believe in Roman mythology. We have the Ace of Pentacles, the Eight of Pentacles, and the Eight of Cups, clarifying these energies. Ah, another unique card to this deck. Okay, so that's kind of the lucky card. Oh my goodness. I was wrong entirely. I don't know how that happened. Queen of Wands, excuse me, for Flora. But this is the card I thought I was seeing. There we go. You have the lucky card. The other one that's in this deck is just double-sided with this symbol, and that's what I thought I had pulled. So that's interesting, but you got the good luck card, guys, so no worries. Just call this the White Clover card. We also have the Page of Swords. And we have the Two of Pentacles. Okay. So what energy are you currently sitting in? Pile 3. Well, first of all, the Flora energy is, again, the goddess of fertility. She is all about abundance. She is, you know, Flora and Fauna are the two goddesses, her twin sister. So Flora is all about this prosperous energy, and it's clarified by the Queen of Wands. This is somebody in their power, someone who's feeling driven and desirous, perhaps in a very sexy, attractive energy as well. I just think in general, you're feeling very abundant already. We have that also confirmed by this Ace of Pentacles and this beautiful luck card with the White Clover. So, in fact, no. You guys are going to think I'm crazy. I've never had this happen in a reading before. Okay, so now I have to show you so that I can prove that I'm not insane. Give me just a moment. This card, or this deck, has two cards that are very, very similar. They are basically extra cards that the creator, who is actually Laura Cortez, who I know, and she's a great lady, she didn't intend to have these cards in the deck, but then when I did my deck review for her, and she viewed it, she thought it was interesting that I included them in the actual lineup to be used in the card deck, and said that that wasn't her intention, but that she thought it was ingenious. And of course, now I can't locate it when I want to. But, you know, this card actually does mean what I thought it did. I just was viewing the wrong card, or believing I was viewing the wrong card. My goodness, this is so unprofessional. I apologize, Pile 3, but no worries. I have to show you this card so you can see what I'm referring to, and you can know that I'm not completely, I haven't lost it. And that there's something about this. There's something really important, and now it's not in here. And why wouldn't it be in here? Oh my goodness, that card is lost. Is that why I'm meant to know about this? Wow. I'm not finding it at the moment, and that makes me a little sad because I don't want to have any lost cards. At any rate, once again, the other version of this card is this one, and this being the main symbol of the Flora Tarot, this is the good luck one. The empty clover, excuse me, is the one that's symbolic of empty luck, or maybe less than good luck. I have no idea why it's not in here, because it should be here. Other examples of cards that are, you know, like she has a solid black card. She also has a solid white card. So these are just extra cards that I have assigned meaning to in this deck. And for this one, this is the empty luck card, but I don't understand where the other one is, which is kind of interesting. So I'll have to take a look for that later. However, You're in a very, again, abundant energy overall, but I do think you're actually coming into a period of a new beginning following a time of less than good luck. That's the message, okay? So when I did pull that before and I thought that that's what that was saying, that message did want to come through for you. And I, again, apologize for that mild interruption, but this is important and I want to get a clarifier for why we had to just spend so much time on that. What is that less than good luck related to for pile 3? Temperance. The Queen of Swords. And the Star. Oh my goodness. Okay, that Queen of Swords energy. The King of Wands. Okay, so there is a male energy around you. Now, I don't know if this is a romantic partner or if this is someone else in your field of awareness, but this is an individual that brought out some really negative energy in you. Again, this could be like an ex energy. This could be somebody like a boss even. A King of Wands figure is someone who, when ill-dignified, could be a pretty difficult character. At any rate, I do feel like part of this new beginning for you, coming out of this period of either stagnation or less than good luck and good fortune, is you coming into balance and having a renewed optimism, seeing things more clearly regarding a male figure in your life, a situation involving a male. Again, I think stepping into your power, stepping into your personal power, perhaps even related to your feminine energy, if you identify as a divine feminine core. Either way, this is really, really beautiful. 8 of Pentacles. Again, I had that boss energy come through first. So for some of you, this could be related to work, could be related to separating yourself or distancing yourself from a work-related situation. Either wise, it could be something related to also, you know, an energy that you've put in a lot of effort towards. You've done, put in a lot of work towards a particular situation. Now you're finally distancing yourself from that. You're coming back into power and you're walking away. With this 8 of Cups, you're stepping away from something. You've made the decision. Perhaps there was some inherent instability regarding that situation. Again, it's all centered around this King of Wands energy. And you're now feeling empowered to begin anew, to have this new beginning, this Ace of Pentacles, and to move forward with life. I mean, I just think you're in a really good place, but you weren't previously, just recently. In fact, there was a really difficult energy that you're actively moving away from. And I do think it's a physical moving away. So again, could be a job loss or job move, a physical move, the end of a relationship. There's definitely something huge here, a big life change that's occurred for you. Apologize for the wobbliness as well. So that's interesting. Let's go ahead and get some more cards now and see what else we've got going on here for you, pile 3. I feel like it took so long to get to that message. It really did. My goodness, that was a lot. But it needed to come through. So, and it didn't come through immediately. So that's, I guess, sometimes Spirit's way of being like, here, you know what? This is what we've got to do. So if you're still here with me, pile 3, my goodness, thank you so much. God bless you, right? Let's go ahead and take a look at what's blocking now pile 3. We see what energy they're sitting in, but let's take a look at what's actually blocking pile 3 from their abundance, their blessings, their prosperity. We have the 3 of Pentacles, the 5 of Wands, the 6 of Wands, and the 2 of Swords. Okay. And clarifying these energies, we have the 9 of Pentacles. Definitely feels work related for a lot of you. Judgment. The 4 of Cups. And the 8 of Swords. Okay. Empress energy underlying this at the bottom, which feels significant. So I want to put her right there. And let's go ahead and pull Oracle at this point. We have the Healers of the Earth Oracle, which is just beautiful. This green backs, stunning. Okay. It's a new setup right now, which is why things are shaking. This is my difficult pile today. Sometimes it's, you know, the first pile usually, but today this one's gotten a little crazy. That's okay though. We have the T of Transformation, Healing, Remedy, Positive Change. Set that right there. Divine Feminine, what did I say? And we have Empress energy coming out. Yin, Receptivity and Lunar qualities. the Cabal, which is schemes, conspiracies, and intelligentsia. One more wanted to come out for that. Nature Sprite, fairies, love of nature, eco-friendliness. This is an interesting card. And from the new deck that I just did a deck review for today, which is the Rose Oracle by Rebecca Campbell. What is blocking pile 3? The Wild Rose. Do it your way, embrace your uniqueness, untamed. I'm feeling for a lot of you, this is definitely like a career move, a work-related change, leaving something behind. Really strong energies indicated here. Mother Rose, excuse me. Okay, can this focus now? Returning to each other, compassion and humanity. So as I said, pile 3, there was definitely some type of major divinely guided change that you felt called to make after a period of, I think, just a lot of struggle and challenge. I'm drawn to this 5 of Wands energy here, which is all about difficulty. It's about tension, struggles, again, challenging times. It's clarified by judgment, which is coming to awareness and acknowledgement about something that I think didn't serve you and that was actually impeding you at a very integral level. I think you saw that this was holding you back, this situation. And in fact, it does appear to be work-related. We have several more indicators of that. We have the 3 of Pentacles out, which is about collaboration and coming together. And in the workforce, this idea of expertise. It's clarified by the 9 of Pentacles. And I do think you're overall a very self-assured person, someone who's feeling very abundant. Again, we also have the Empress energy presenting underneath. So someone who's very much in their power the majority of the time. And this was slowly sort of like a decrease of self-esteem or a decrease in power, and someone really feeling threatened by your energy. Again, for others of you where this is a relationship, this can very much be the energy of jealousy, bitterness, envy, tied to a partner. But either way, this is somebody, an outside party or some type of communal environment where someone was viewing, your personal stability, your abundant self, your energy of, self-assuredness and confidence in a very negative light. And you finally began to see this situation and this person for what it really was. In order for you to have success and to move forward, you actually had to give kind of a divine no. This 4 of Cups to me is a card of rejection. And again, we had that 8 of Cups come out previously, which is moving forward. Now, the reason why this is presenting as blockages is because I think that you're still harboring a lot of the energy associated with this situation within this energy, this dynamic of discord and of, again, this lack of self-worth or self-esteem that occurred for you. We do have the 2 of Swords here, which is an inability to mentally move forward, to make decisions, to be, decisive and, very, again, assured going forward. It's clarified by the 8 of Swords. This could represent actual anxiety or depression, some type of mental illness or mental instability at this point, but it's definitely, if nothing else, a little bit of a confused state. So as much as you may be feeling very empowered or very driven to move forward, it does look like this situation is still plaguing you mentally at some level. We do have, however, the T of Transformation, and this indicates healing, remedy, and positive change. So just know that this, initial situation that you've gotten yourself out of, that's half the battle, pile 3. You've already begun to turn the wheel of change so that things can begin to transform for you. And you just need to continue to trust that as you move farther away from these energies and you start to rebalance yourself and come out of this period of, again, mental fatigue or, I'm almost hearing like manipulation, like the manipulation is still plaguing you. And we even have this card here called the Cabal. We have the picture, the depiction of chess here, which is a game of wits, right? It's a game of strategy. It's representative here of schemes, conspiracies, and intelligentsia. I do think there was someone who was very smart, who was very adept at, influencing you and influencing others, that it even feels like you may have looked up to them. You may have revered them. It's certainly somebody who did not present with the best energy. And I feel like you got caught up in their charisma, their charm, It allowed you to be influenced and negatively impacted. You're coming back into balance though, pile 3, with this divine feminine energy, yin receptivity, and lunar qualities. Again, Empress energy is at the bottom of all of this. So while there are still some blockages, mostly related to, again, processing, moving forward beyond this energy, kind of getting out and untangling yourself from the web of this person's deceit or lies or manipulation, you're still feeling more empowered every day. I do think overall you're in a very, very good place, much better than you were even a few months ago. There's a lot of alignment going on here. I'm always confused whenever I pull this card. Nature Sprite. Okay. Fairies, love of nature, and eco-friendliness. You know, I just think that this kind of relates to the divine feminine energy, getting back in touch with nature, getting back in touch with self. And honestly, you know, when I think of sprites, I think of people who are lively, who are very sometimes mischievous, but they're, you know, there's an abundant nature to them as well. They're very happy. They're very joyful. They're very connected to spirit and to nature. And I do think, again, you're just overall getting back to a sense of self, getting in touch. You know, there's parts of you I'm feeling that this situation really took away from, and that you're transforming that. You're transmuting those energies. And I really do think you've done a lot of work in the past few months, pile 3. It's just a little bit of, again, things weighing on you. Maybe at like 3 a.m. you wake up and you're thinking over it again. There's a little bit of bitterness, a little bit of hanging on to that energy that's still holding you back from maybe moving on to the next step here. We do have the Wild Rose. Do it your way, embrace your uniqueness, and untamed. And I think that's what all of this has to do with, is that you wanted to do things your way. You know and believe truly and deeply that you are a divine being. You're someone who's very self-assured, self-confident. You have the capabilities to show up in this world in a really profound, impactful way. And the fact that anybody else was intimidated by this is simply just not your problem. But the reason why it presents again as a blockage is because I think that that was something you were being prevented from doing. And now it's a matter of undoing sort of that damage and getting back into a flow state where you can feel comfortable to embrace yourself, to know that you can live life and do things in the way you were before. You can regain all of that sense of inner stability and that confidence that, you know, for a period of time you lacked. It even says here, Mother Rose, returning to each other, compassion and humanity. You may not be working currently, pile 3, for some of you, or you may not be in another relationship. Whatever this involves, I do think that you've avoided kind of returning back to a similar energy, or repeating cycles, repeating things yet again. So what's important to know about this is that you're returning back to this idea again of a state of wholeness, of self, stepping into divine feminine energy, coming back into a period of compassion, of empathy, of desire to be engaged with others. Again, collaboration indicated here with the 3 of Pentacles. Right now there's a blockage to connect maybe and come back together with others, but you're on the road to doing so and to feeling empowered and, you know, strong enough to again resume that role within your life again, either in terms of a relationship or in terms of work related. There's something going on here, but again, it's whatever it relates to. It's you coming back into a feeling of self-empowerment, that you can engage again and that you can do so stronger and better than ever. So now that we know what's blocking you, pile 3, let's go ahead and get some guidance for you on how to resolve it. So what does pile 3 need to know? Guidance for pile 3 on what they can do to resolve their blockages. We have the 4 of Wands, the King of Swords, the Emperor, the 5 of Cups, from the Healers of the Earth Oracle once again. Guidance for pile 3, please. We have Bird's Eye View, seeing the big picture, a higher perspective. Forest of Fire, passion, aliveness, flashes of inspiration. From the Rose Oracle, once again as well. We have the Rose Thread, Inner call, soul led, the mystic, and living courageously. Hopefully that's focusing for you. This also came out for guidance in pile 2. Sub rosa, hidden in plain sight, mysteries, learning and teaching. I am so sorry, those are not focusing. Not focusing. And lastly, from the Moonology Manifestation Oracle, because why not, right? We want to learn how to manifest in a good way. Let's use the manifestation deck to do so. Guidance for pile 3, please. We have full moon in Virgo, take inspired action. That was definitely already indicated. We have last quarter moon in Cancer, take a breather. And full moon in Cancer, let your fears dissolve. So pile 3, the guidance for you is really clear. There's a couple of things that you can work on to release these blockages that are currently impeding your ability to manifest greater abundance. First and foremost, we have the full moon in Virgo, take inspired action. And this is confirmed with card 23, forest of fire, passion, aliveness, and flashes of inspiration. So definitely step back into power. Continue to embody this beautiful energy, pile 3, of the Empress. And here we even have the Emperor stepping out as well. So balancing of those masculine and feminine energies. Taking inspired action and acting on the passion, aliveness, and flashes of inspiration provided by Spirit for me means, the Emperor energy. So we all possess both masculine and feminine energies within us, and the Emperor specifically about taking that inspired action. You want to ensure that you're in a good flow state and that you are taking action that's coming from, intuition, that's not fear-based. And in fact, we have the full moon in Cancer here, let your fears dissolve, as well as the last quarter moon in Cancer. So lots of Cancerian energy presenting for you. Take a breather. As I indicated, there may be some of you that are actually taking a break from relationships or taking a break from work, focusing on your healing. And while this is a good plan, ensure that you're also using this break to your advantage. You're allowing your fears to dissolve. You're coming into realizations about, the reality of the situation, and you're taking that time and that rest for self, helping yourself to see the bigger picture as you do so and to gain greater stability. We have bird's eye view, seeing the big picture and a higher perspective. So I feel as though as you're healing and transforming and you take this break, this time for self, you will come into greater awareness and realizations and see things a little bit more differently, even than you do now. As much healing and growth as you've already completed, pile 3, there's still a little bit more to the story for you to work through, to dissolve any lingering fears and disappointments with this 5 of Cups. And it was also indicated for me in this guidance with this Emperor energy, the King of Swords, and the 4 of Wands, is to, again, regain this sense of stability and trusting masculine energy. So for some of you that will resonate, especially if this is more a relationship or a very controlling male figure in your life, learning how to embrace that within yourself, again, from an inspired, intuitive place, acting on divine inspiration instead of, assertiveness or aggression, and then also learning to trust that you can have healthy masculine role models in your life again, or a healthy masculine partner in some instances, that you can have that successful, stability, those firm foundations, and that it doesn't have to be as difficult and challenging as it was once previously. We also have the rose thread here, which is inner call, soul-led, the mystic, and living courageously. Hopefully you can see that. And it's coming up over sub rosa, which is hidden in plain sight, mysteries, learning, and teaching. And there is a lot of learning indicated here. Learning, growing, and healing through this experience. You are divinely guided. Inspiration, that soul call, that inner calling that you feel led and guided to embody in order to proceed forth in your life, pile 3, in just a more, again, self-assured way as you once were. hidden in plain sight, mysteries, learning, and teaching. For me, this is all about, as guidance, understanding the power that you still hold within. And look, she's making the divine triangle with her hands. The triangle, which is heavily represented in this Rose Oracle, talks about, it's a divine shape. And no matter how much pressure is ever exuded on itself because of the shape of how a triangle, is presented, it'll always be able to withstand that pressure. And so I think that what's important for you to recognize and remember, Pile 3, is that even though something, this situation, whatever it is, has led you to feel a temporary kind of loss of power or a loss of self, to some degree, a loss of self-worth, or just feeling a little bit, I guess, like off your game, remember that you hold within so much power and nothing has broken you yet. And this situation doesn't have to either. And as long as you can as long as you can come back to self and you can heal and resolve sort of this inner conflict that you're still having as a result of this situation, you can be back on the fast track to some really wonderful, abundant manifestations. So Pile 3, thank you so much for hanging out with me, for sticking it out for this reading. I know it was a little bit of a struggle today, but we had some really great messages come through for you. I'm so sorry to hear about this energy as well. I know that's a little difficult, what you've been through, but I'm sending you so much loving, abundant, healing energy for you as you work through these energies. And in general, I hope you have a great day, a great week, a great rest of the month. Just taking it one step at a time and going forward. If you have enjoyed this reading, I would love and feel so thankful if you decide to like, share, subscribe, click the notification bell if you haven't already. Do whatever calls to you in terms of supporting the channel. It means the world to me. And until next time, Pile 3, I hope to see you in a future reading. Take great care. Bye-bye.